episode 7 of the Sort It With Me series. Today I'm going to be working on our living room. It's been feeling a little bit cluttered, just needing a little bit of a refresh. I will be going through a few small DIY bits and a full deep clean of this space with you. I'm really looking forward to showing you where it was to how it is now. However, rookie mistake, I didn't actually take any before footage. But do not worry, because you'll be able to see a difference as the changes come into play throughout the whole video. So let's take it right back to the beginning with the first DIY task. As part of this mini transformation, I have decided to try bringing the dining room table into the back of the living room, but due to the way in which we use the house and we have Nova's crate, I thought getting a bench would be best for our table. So I have got one from IKEA. I think it's quite nice. Nothing needs doing to it for now. Maybe in time I might change it up, paint it. It has the possibility for storage as well, which is excellent. I'm hoping that we're not going to need that right now. Hopefully it'll look nice, hopefully it'll work with the table. Who knows? Let's give it our best shot and see what we think once it's built. Once I'd tackled building the bench, I decided it was time to focus my attention on something I had been putting off for quite some time. And that was painting around our window. So quite a while back, we got some new windows fitted and it's been bare plaster around the windows ever since. We have wallpaper in this room and that is something that I would love to change one day, but not just yet. Bare plaster had been there, but because we've got the blinds, you can't really see it, but it's something that I knew was there. So of course I wanted to fix it. I mixed 1 part water to 2 parts white emulsion paint, so that essentially, if you don't already know, that gives you what is essentially known as a mist coat. So that means it will stop the actual wall paint from keeping on seeping into the plaster. It can be really messy, which is why I personally go for 2 parts emulsion. A lot of the time I will stick as much paint as I possibly can into that mix because I haven't got time for it dripping everywhere, but it still drips. So then once you've got your mist coat on, you can then go in with your coloured coat of paint. So you'll have already seen that I have mist coated around the living room window. So I've actually done 2 coats of that, and then I just bought a little tester pot of the paint colour that we have in the room. It's actually Elephant's Breath. Delightful, I know. And I'm just gonna whack a couple of coats of that around just so it blends in a little bit nicer. So let's do that. One thing I would really like to have done with the window is actually get DIY fitted shutters. However, I missed out on the sale that they had on at the time. So I was looking at Blinds to Go and they had 50% off. Amazing, fantastic. It was still quite expensive, but I just thought, you know what? I've wanted them for a long time. I'm just going to go for it. Then the day that I actually went to order them was the day that the sale was no longer on. So I'm not buying them when I know full well, in however many months, weeks, whatever, that there's going to be a sale on again. So at some point, hopefully, all being well, the blinds will be replaced with shutters, as I'm not a huge fan of these blinds, but we do use them, and especially with the way the road outside is and the way the light comes into the room and whatnot, they're definitely used and we definitely need something, just not these blinds. just finished painting around the window, and is it just me, or is painting the top of the windowsill like the worst job going in the world? Yeah. So anywho, I've now decided that, sorry for the horrendous lighting, it's obviously coming into the winter in the UK and we don't have great lights in this house. But I've now decided to start working on the dining room table. It's currently in the conservatory. We did chop some of it down off of the sides. It did used to be a bigger table than what it currently is. But once we did that, we then moved it into the conservatory and it hasn't been out since. So the plan with this little living room refresh is to bring the table back in so that we eat at it. I'll have some way of putting my computer on it so that I can work from there, and yeah, that's the plan at the moment. Kind of just winging it as I go and hoping that something works, but as we cut it down we also stripped the top, and so it all needs protecting again. But thinking about it whilst I'm stood at the conservatory door, I probably shouldn't do that in there because it's going to be pretty cold. So I think I'll bring it into the living room and we can get covering on that. I do have some Colron beeswax in Jacobine dark oak. So using the beeswax on the dining room table, I just used a normal dishcloth. Obviously it was a brand new one, it hadn't been used before, but I used that, followed the wood grain to apply it, and then once it came to finishing the table off, I used the same cloth but just a partially clean section and went over it in a circular motion to buff it up and give it a nice shine finish. So I'm just in the middle of moving this big unit right here and chucking it into the conservatory. Oh my goodness gracious me, it is absolutely disgusting what is on the floor under here. Don't know if I want to show you, but I will because it's reality and I'm sure a lot of us are like this unknowingly. Look! Let me move out the way. Oh my god! One thing that I have been keen to do for quite some time now is to paint these French doors. Our house originally came with rosewood all over, and slowly but surely we have changed this out. It's not really worth changing out on these doors as we don't really know what the future holds for our conservatory, and it's just generally a lot of work for something that we're not sure of at the moment. So I decided to bite the bullet and paint them. I've used this paint before, and this one at the moment is the Dulux Weather Shield in Pure Brilliant White. As you can tell, it's pretty old and not all that great, so I did eventually cave in, went and bought a new one, and the new one that I bought is specifically for UPVC, and also, may I add, it goes on so much smoother than the old stuff. Why didn't I just cave in sooner? It is quite expensive. It's £31 for a 750ml tub of paint. You will notice that although I am trying my best, I do unfortunately get some of the paint on the glass and some of the rubber seal. This isn't such an issue. I know that I'll be able to clean it off once the doors are ready paint-wise. So I do have a little confession to make, and bringing this room together has been quite a stretch with everything else that's going on in life currently. And the French doors that are right here as I'm sat on our new bench are not finished. I've tried my absolute best to get this done, and the painting takes so long to coat wise to just get it done. I like to make sure that I do a neat and tidy job, and unfortunately before this video goes live I just haven't had the time to get them finished. I will put in footage now of where they are up to, literally as I'm editing this last minute before uploading it, but they are far from finished. I'm far from happy with them, but for full transparency, they're not finished. I just ran out of time. Guys, I've made a mistake. So the bench, we've got a really weird dining room table, and the legs on it are where you've got main legs and feet, and it's the feet ultimately that get in the way. I'll put some shots up so that you can see what I mean, and they are just getting in the way of the bench. For once I actually did measure the bench from the dimensions, and it just ever so slightly just won't, it doesn't fit basically. And so I'm now left with either the bench sticking out, which looks a bit odd, or having it to one side or the other, which also looks a bit odd. Or the bench can go on the other side of the wall, and then the chairs can be facing this side out, so then the whole thing, it won't by much, but a little bit can be pushed up slightly more, just to give us a bit more space. Not ideal, but I've committed now with the bench, so let's see what looks best. I guess you could call this one of those after dark cleans with me, because I was doing it late one evening. Anywho, my intention with this was to start from the top down, but I failed at the first hurdle with that because I thought, do you know what, I can get Nova's sofa blanket in the wash and that can be cleaning at the same time as I'm cleaning. No, sorry, that could be washed at the same time that I'm cleaning. Anywho, I then did get back on track and started going around. Can you see the dust on that? Don't even ask me how long ago it was that I actually even dusted those, because it would be a very, very shameful answer. And of course, I had the good old lint roller. That girl was working overtime in this room, let me tell you, on this clean. She kept going. She held me up that night. I'll be honest about that. And if you're new around here, and you don't have a lint roller, get yourself one. You can use it on all sorts, as you will see in this clean how I go about using it. Such a great way to clean. It's a fantastic tool, not just for getting dust or pet hairs off of your clothes. I was listening to David Guetta whilst doing this clean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably starting to show my age there a little bit, but the tunes were hitting. Probably even show my age by the fact that I say tunes. Ah well. There's those pesky French doors back to haunt me. So whilst I'm cleaning along, doing my thing, one thing that I really did want to do with this transformation was make Nova a new crate cover. So I found some bed sheets in a charity shop, and one thing that I have been desperate to do for so long is to transform said bed sheets into a crate cover for her, because right now the poor girl, she's got a big blanket over it and it's not the one. She might think it's okay, I don't think it's okay. But again, that was something that I ran out of time to do, so I'm hoping that over the next few weeks or during the Christmas break when things slow down a little bit, I will have the time to make that. So keep an eye out on my shorts, because that's where I'll be posting it once I've created it. And let's address the elephant in the room, because goodness gracious me, the hairstyles I am showing in this video They're something else. They're off this planet. I'm aware of that. I'm very sorry. Very, very sorry. Ooh, so I do have one trick here. You're going to need a ruler, a cloth, and that's it. You want to cover the ruler with your cloth, and then you can use that to dust in between items. So for me, that's in between the sofa, like you can see. It's a bit like swiping a credit card, except a lot less fun. Yeah, a heck of a lot less fun. But you know what? It does the job beautifully. Also, I just seem to be wearing the same, 3 outfits? Or even 2. Let's just be honest, it's the pink jumper and it's the brown tracksuit or whatever you call it, isn't it? Like, you'd think I don't have any more clothes in my wardrobe because this is filmed over several weeks. I've obviously got my few favourites. Can anyone tell what they are? Oh, and here's another hack for you. It's an easy way to clear dust and goodness knows what else from under your sofa. Use a long reach duster, wipe along and hoover up. Et voila! Done and dusted, quite literally. Can anybody guess how long I have been waiting and holding in that pun? Anywho, back to the clean. So it was just the same thing once again on our chair or love seat. I don't even know what you'd call it. I'm just going to call it a chair. I didn't directly clean Nova's crate, as that's something that I'm not a fan of doing all that often for obvious reasons. However, I did clean the floor beneath her crate and behind her crate. I must have been slam dunking some of her kibble into the crate sometimes because the amount of kibble on the floor along the skirting board was insane. Probably, tell you what, the amount of kibble I drop on the floor would probably actually already make up a full bag of kibble, and the girl's only 9 months old. You'll be glad to know at this point the clean was starting to come to an end, and in all honesty, that evening that I was doing this, I was super glad too. So after giving the floors a hoover, I popped Nova into the crate, and then that meant I could give the floors a wipe the skirting boards down and the radiators too. So something else that I bought was a basket for Nova's toys to go in under the coffee table. It's got a little paw print on. Don't know if I like that or not, but it's here. She's here too. She knows that she's eager to sniff, of course. It's quite big, but we tend to have quite a lot of toys of hers in the room, so let's fill it up. Now we're on to the fun part, dressing the room and getting it all back together. To me, soft furnishings are a great way to just zhuzh up a new space. And so that's what I did. On the sofa, I popped on some new cushions, so they were to replace some of the ones that I got rid of in my big 200 item declutter, and also popped some new brown ones either side. I also got a new lampshade. To me, it's just these really small changes that make a huge difference to your space. And ultimately, the whole idea behind this video was just to ensure that the room flowed and worked better for what we want and how we live. So that's going to go ahead and end today's video. I really hope you enjoyed watching this. I absolutely love our room now. I think it's really important, stuff like this, because it just helps you to fall back in love with your space. And that is also part of the reason why I'm doing this series, is just to remind me and give my own head a wobble that, do you know what? Keep liking it. Stop not liking it. Thank you so much for watching. It really does mean the absolute world. If you yourself have any tips or comments on what you think could work better, could be done better, should have been done better, absolutely, let me know in the comments below. I do like having some feedback in that sense, and I'm always up for having a little go with this and that, so if you think I'm missing a trick, let me know. But on that note, take care, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye.